Hey, welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. I'm your host, Mongo Slade. Today, we're going to talk about Reginald. Reginald versus Sasha Banks, but we're really going to talk a lot about Reginald because this was great. I hate intergender wrestling, for the record. I hate it. A lot of people think it should be the norm. A lot of people are like, oh, intergender matches, I love them so much. I hate intergender matches, period. I don't. That's my one rule, man. There's very little I'll tolerate in wrestling, but intergender matches are one of the things I just have zero interest in. But when WWE announced they were going to do this, they didn't say it was going to be intergender. They just said Sasha Banks is going to wrestle Reginald. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? And I thought instantaneously this match is just not going to happen. And then Sasha Banks comes in her great 4K entrance. She looks like a star. Obviously, she is a star. She's a superstar. And, Reginald has to wrestle this match so that Carmella can get her rematch. He doesn't necessarily have to win. He just has to be in it. So he comes to the ring to Carmella's theme. Carmella goes sits in commentary. And Reginald is wearing his regular sommelier gear, regular suit with a t-shirt. And he hands Sasha Banks a flower, like a rose, like he's still in Angel Garza's gimmick. Sasha Banks takes the rose and he offers his cheek. She tries to hit him. He catches it. Then she slaps him with the other hand. And then they do this routine where he avoids completely any slams or strikes of any kind. He basically dances with Sasha Banks for about 5 or 6 minutes. And he plays it cool. He's showing off his athleticism. They're countering each other. Right? Like, she's trying to do Hurricanrana, he'll pop up and land on his feet. And then he'll kind of laugh and back off like, wait, stop. She'll try to take him down, he'll roll or something, pop up, roll outside the ring and like, whoa, no. I don't want to do this. This was great. Like, Sasha got to break out all the lucha stuff she was training with Kalisto for. She got to break out her lucha. Reginald just had to counter. That's all he had to do was counter. He did not strike her. I think the most aggressive thing he did was grab her by the waist. And she really couldn't get out of that. But he didn't hit her with anything. He didn't slam her at all. But dude is athletic beyond words. It's like, it was good shit. Now, was it a good match? Yes, it was a good match. What made it a good match, even though he didn't slam or strike her? It was a good match because it still told a story. It was Reginald trying to get out of the match. That's why he gave her the flower and offered to, kiss me on the cheek. And she wanted to fight, so she threw the flower down and she wanted to hit him. He was like, no, I don't want to fight. So it was basically him evading Sasha Banks the entire match. Occasionally he would try to do something, try to calm her down. He'd grab her by the waist or try to take her down and she would counter it. There was some small botches in there where he almost dropped her once, but he ended up catching her and everything was okay. But this was great. But you can't do this all the time. This is a great showcase for Reginald. This was fantastic. Sasha Banks was very aggressive. Makes sense because she's the one who made the challenge. She wants to beat up Reginald. She wins by submission, by the way, which is, of course, dumb. But hey, look, we're in this position. You can't have the guy beat Sasha Banks. Come on. Sasha Banks is angling to do extra stuff all the time. She wants to wrestle Roman and shit. That ain't about to happen. So, this guy with his Cirque du Soleil training, fantastic. The thing with the flips is that you have to know when and where and how and why to do them, right? You can't just do shit. It can't just look like a Power Rangers fight scene. It can't be in there like a Jackie Chan, fight scene. It can't be like that. That's not what this was. This was Reginald trying not to die. They were trying to She was trying to hurricane him. She was trying to, arm drag him. She was trying to do all this stuff to him, and he kept trying to escape. He was getting away from Sasha Banks. He was trying his best to be like, no, I don't want to do this. But if I got to, I'll just try to. He'll also try to win occasionally, do a little sneaky stuff. But mostly, he wanted to get the hell out of this match. I don't even remember what Carmella was saying on commentary because I was so aghast, and not even in a negative way, even though that's a negative word, at what he was doing. Because I was completely surprised. Like we had seen him do some stuff before. We weren't completely not hit to Reginald, but Reginald was on fire tonight. He was on fire at this match. He looked like a guy who knew what he was doing. He impressed everybody. There were so many people that was tweeting out, and I checked. Whenever something absolutely crazy happens on WWE, I do check Twitter. Because I kind of want to get a general idea of what people's reactions are. And there's people who already like intergender wrestling, like, oh, this is what, you can do this. You can do intergender wrestling. I'm like, you missed the point. He didn't do any slams or strikes. He barely touched. He didn't even touch Sasha Banks outside of to try to get away from her, and help her do twirls and shit. Otherwise, he didn't even touch Sasha Banks. You can't have those matches all the time. But he impressed Mr. Flips, Ricochet. Ricochet was, Swerve, another one of the video game wrestlers, is Isaiah Swerve Scott. He was like, I had some ideas of what to do, and Reginald stole my stuff. I was glad to see all of those people, that the wrestling quote unquote community. I don't believe in the wrestling community. I'm sorry. But there's people who was giving him credit for his efforts because they know the guy does not have a huge background in wrestling. The guy's background is in being a circus performer. He's a legit carny. Even though circus not as carny as, regular circus. But, he's a legit carny. Legit circus performer. I don't know what he did though. I wish I knew exactly what he did, but it looks like he was involved with the acrobatics. He can twist his body and contort his body to do some really cool stuff. Now can he talk? We don't know. He's not talking, but he's got the body language down. He's got the cockiness down. He's kind of cocky when he escapes or something like that. He's like, he got a little smile on him, like, come on, Sasha. Come on. Don't do that. Like, I'm okay. Don't do that. But we haven't gotten there yet. But the intrigue is real. This dude skipped NXT. He didn't even go through NXT. So that means somebody saw this guy and was like, he's the guy. We're going to bring him up to the main roster. No NXT. No NXT for you. But I say this. Reginald went out there and he put a lot of the flippy dudes on notice. The Will Ospreays. The Swerves. The Ricochets. He kind of gave them guys something to think about. Now, there's no doubt in my mind Ricochet probably could have did the same match. Ricochet likely could have had this exact same match because he probably could have done the exact same thing Reginald did. But I couldn't see Ricochet losing to a woman. That would be bad. But like that would it be fun? Could you have a Sasha Banks Ricochet lucha ass match where they just, arm drag each other across the ring for 4 or 5 minutes? Sure, you could do that. But when you talking about actual matches, you're talking about a simulated fight. Not this guy doesn't really want to fight, but he's evading. Maybe he should have just got counted out or something. But, so that's why you can't go to the next level. And the next level is Sasha Banks eating forearm shivers. The next level is him trying to hit her with a 450 splash or something. The next level is him hitting her with a clothesline. Body slamming her, power bombing her. He didn't do none of that stuff. He didn't even try it. WWE was very, very smart in how they booked this match. They booked this match to be the best no contact match ever. There was little to no contact. All the contact was Sasha Banks attacking him, smacking him, Meteora on him. But he didn't look like a bitch either, because he could get away. He could take care of himself. Like, that was the beauty of the story, is it was not Sasha Banks just going in there brutalizing this guy. This guy had some legit athleticism to him. He could evade. He could get away. He had some agility. He could move, you know? And he was still trying to tell Sasha to simmer down, you know? And it seemed like if he had actually tried, you know, he could have won. And that's sweet. Then Sasha Banks goes on Twitter and says, "I'm the best. You're the best. I'm the best regardless of gender," or some nonsense. You know, I'm the boss regardless of gender. And then and I was like, okay, I give you credit for that match, but you're not ready. You do not want to wrestle, man. Trust me. You don't want to do that. You know, it'll be a bad day at the office for the man, that's for sure. You know, because it's can't imagine a guy throwing a clothesline and then you injure the hottest female athlete in WWE. You knock her, you give her a fucking concussion or something stupid like that. You know, that's why that's another reason why I enjoyed this. Reginald worked very safe. He didn't do anything. You know, he didn't do anything that would hurt Sasha Banks, that would put her in any danger, make her look too bad. He frustrated her, but he didn't embarrass her. You know, but it made it seem like he could hang. If he needed to hang, he could. If he needed to win, he could have. You know, that's the beauty of this story. If we got to see that Reginald the Sommelier, yeah, he could go. You know, he could at least evade. He's a little small, but he can at least evade and get away and got some fantastic agility. So I thought this was cool, man. I don't like intergender matches, but this was great. Let me know what you guys think. Spread the good word of 3 Count Commentaries. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank everybody for listening. I appreciate everybody, and I'll talk to you guys later.